Dog. I never would have thought that the NFL regular season would end like that. And yes, right after that game, yeah, a lot of coaches got fired. Even one of them got fired during the game. Or really, it was rather during halftime. Probably have to talk about all the head coach firings tomorrow, seeing all the candidates that could definitely be up for debate. But here's an issue. Can we stop talking about head coaching candidates during these teams' playoff runs? Like, dude, Seattle is a number one seed. They're trying to get in that first round bye, and already Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, is already getting head coaching, nominations. Looking at this head coach should not be happening until the end of the season. That way, there's not as much chaos. Let's just get straight to it, then. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football, ladies and gentlemen. We have got ourselves the last few bowl games to talk about that happened on, I believe, Friday. And also talk about the final regular season week of the NFL, Week 18 NFL reactions. If you are enjoying this series so far, make sure you give this episode a bit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. Helps the channel a lot. This is the Grizz as always, and without further delay, let's get straight to it. We'll start with the 4 college games. We're going to get through those real quick, and then we're going to get to the 16 NFL games for the final week of the regular season. Kicking these off, we got the Armed Forces Bowl, where Texas State put BTA on 5-7 Rice, 41-10. Moving the ball offensively, especially the pass game, was very rough for Rice. 1 touchdown pass, but an interception by Patrick Creighton. The passing game combined for less than 100 yards. Was not the same for Texas State, because Brad Jackson was 17-24 for 173 and 3 touchdowns. Also had a rushing touchdown alongside Lincoln Pare. Chris Don scored 2 touchdowns. Bo Sparks had 1 on the receiving end as well. Great day for the defense as they forced 3 turnovers, 2 forced fumbles, and Jaden Rios had the only interception of the game. Media definitely overhyped Texas State when they had Jordan McLeod and all those JMU players, but, they're not that bad of a Sun Belt team. At least they're kind of average. Next, we got the Liberty Bowl, where Navy absolutely blew out Big 12 Cincinnati 35-13. You let us down, Bearcats. And now Navy has an 11-win season. Passing game was solid. Rushing game was solid. Blake Horvath had 3 total touchdowns. Alex Texa had a rushing touchdown. Heinrich continues to be one of the best receivers in Navy history. Actually, the best receiver in Navy history. And Luke Hutchinson, touchdown catch as well. Navy won the turnover battle. Coleman Coley had an interception. They also forced a fumble on Cincinnati. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention about the transfer portal. Brandon Sorsby, who was quarterback of Cincinnati, is now on Texas Tech. Shit. At least Josh Hoover is gone. Now he's on Indiana. But I tell you, this transfer portal is broken. Same with these opt-outs, because under 100 yards passing for Cincinnati as well. 1 touchdown to pick. Samaj Jones had a rushing touchdown also. Just rough how college football has started to end up. Up next, Duke's Mayo Bowl. Wake Forest beats Mississippi State 43-29. You're seeing a few 5-7 teams on here because of team opt-outs. If you want to know why 5-7 teams are on here, that's why. What a journey Wake Forest has been on. Robbie Ashford from Auburn to South Carolina, now to Wake Forest. He put up 300 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. 2 touchdowns on the ground also. He dominated. Touchdowns went to Cameron Johnson, Jack Foley, and Ty Clark. This thing didn't do too bad on defense either. 1.5 sacks from Dallas Afalava. But they were able to step up in clutch moments when they needed to. Kamari Taylor was actually the quarterback for some reason, and he wasn't too bad. Played a pretty clean game. 13-22 for 241. Touchdown pass. Got a rushing touchdown as well. Had a 100-yard receiver, Brandon Thompson, and touchdown went to San Francisco McGee. Besides the interception from Brian Lanier, this defense got cooked. Wake Forest really turned into a decent program, and Jake Digger, in his first year with Wake Forest, did a nice job. 9 wins, pretty good. And finally, Arizona nearly came back against SMU, but came up short 24-19 in what I believe was the Holiday Bowl. Yep, it sure was. SMU's defense really controlled that first half, and then Arizona's defense controlled the second half, but SMU got enough of a cushion to get the dub. Noah Fafito was actually very good in that second half. 23-8 of 43, 265 for 3 touchdowns and a pick. Rushing game was pretty solid as well. Touchdown passes went to Cameron Barmore, Javen Watley, and Trey Spivey. Defense did get 3 interceptions, but just could not turn them into enough points. Bradley Wilson also had 2 picks in this game. Struggle bus game for Kevin Jennings. I mean, he did move the ball, but just could not punch it in the end zone through the air or on the ground, and also threw 3 interceptions, I believe, in the second half. 3 rushing touchdowns from SMU. TJ Harden had 2 of them. Stone Ebby had a rushing touchdown as well. And Yamir Knight had 100 yards receiving. Did get an interception from Alex Kilgore, had 10 total tackles from Ahmad Moses, but their defense stepped in the first half and they did just enough to hold Arizona to less points than them. The tale of 2 halves came up SMU and Rhett Lashley. Now let's move on to the NFL, where I went 12-4 in the final week. Yes, indeed, I did go 12-4, which ended up being, my best week of the season. Yeah, I'm terrible. Let's begin with the Saturday games. First up, Tampa Bay beating Carolina 16-14, and despite this, they did not go to the playoffs. You're going to see why a little bit later. Oh wait, I'm sure everybody knows why. Bryce Young was actually pretty good, 24-35 for 266, 2 touchdowns and a pick, but the rushing game, oh my goodness, it sucked. Ted McMillan, 4 catches, 85 yards of receiving, but touchdowns went to Jalen Coker and Tommy Tremble. 1 interception by Christian Roseboom and 2 sacks, but defense just couldn't do enough to stop Tampa Bay's offense. Fitzgerald missing a field goal didn't help them either. Oh yeah, and T-Mac and Dowdle both lost fumbles, so yeah, it was 3 turnovers. Baker Mayfield wasn't too bad either. 16-22 for 200 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Rush game was a lot better in that Tampa Bay offense. That was a big difference in the game. And the only touchdown pass went to Cade Otton, 7 catches for 94 yards. Couldn't get to Bryce Young 1 time, but they did recover 2 fumbles courtesy of Benjamin Morris and Levante David. Got an interception from Jacob Parrish, so yeah, they won the turnover battle, and they were also much more effective on the ground. Jason Blount better thank the stars. His 1 missed field goal did not change the outcome of this game. And guess what? The Buccaneers lose the NFC South for the first time since, I believe, 2019. Ty Bowles, you might want to pack your bags because you're going to be fired very shortly. But for now, get out. NFC West crown was on the line, and it came up Seattle Seahawks in a defensive showdown 13-3. And also, Seattle's offense was actually moving the ball a lot better than San Francisco's. Sam Darnold was efficient, 20-26 for 198, no touchdowns, but rushing game, 170 total yards. Charbonnet with a touchdown. Spit the Jigba putting up modest numbers of 6 catches for 84 yards. And the defense even had 3 sacks and an interception by Trey Thomas, and they allowed 0 touchdowns. Woo, Jason Myers, you are on thin ice, buddy. You are very lucky that San Francisco's offense with the shit. 19-27, 127 yards and interception. Not the Purdy day at all. Especially not with 53 rushing yards. Okay, I'll stop. 2 sacks for the defense, and unfortunately, they just ran out of gas. Also, fuck Eddie. What a shit show for San Francisco's offense. They better turn it around, otherwise they're going to get manhandled by Philadelphia. Now we move on to Sunday games, where right out of the gate we see a high-scoring game. Colts did a good effort, but unfortunately fell short to the Houston Texans, 38-30. Fantastic game. Riley Leonard had himself a career game in the NFL. 270 yards, 21-34, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and ran for a score. This was the worst that the Russian offense for Indianapolis has looked, though. How about a career day for Alec Pierce as well? The deep threat getting 4 catches for 132 and 2 touchdowns. Woo, man. For Houston, C.J. Stroud had a modest day. 14-23, 169 yards and a touchdown. Also ran for a score. I think he may have gotten benched or maybe, I don't know. But Davis Mills actually took over for a bit. Only touchdown went to Jaden Higgins. Xavier Hutchinson led receiving them with 5 catches for 84 yards. And Dalton Schultz, 73 yards on 4 catches. Whoa. Main catalyst in this game was the 3 turnovers they forced. Elijah Huzzy with an interception. Daniil Hunter and Dylan Horton forcing fumbles. 2 recoveries also. Henry Tuo had 1. And Tommy Togiai also recovered 1 on a little hook and ladder play. And he took that all the way to the house. That's why it was 38-30. Well, how about Kylie Fairbairn with 6 field goals and 20 total points? Dude is making a case for one of the best kickers in the AFC. Maybe even the NFL. Up next, the Cleveland Browns have a 2-game win streak, beating the Bengals 20-18 at the last minute, courtesy of an Andre Smith field goal. Offense was pretty stagnant, to be fair. Shedeur Sanders 11-22, 111 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, lost a fumble as well. It was a good thing that their defense came out to play. Interception by Devin Bush, that was a pick 6. Forced fumble by Jerome Baker, recovered by Sam Webb, that was a touchdown. and 2 sacks on the day. Grant Delpit at 1, and Myles Garrett finally gets that 23rd sack of the season, breaking the single-season record. Congratulations, Myles Garrett. You clutch son of a bitch, Andre Smith. Joe Burrow was actually pretty good too. 29 of 39, 236 for 3 touchdowns and an interception. Rushing game was pretty decent. Chase Brown had like 70 rushing yards, also had a receiving touchdown alongside Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Who else? Oh yeah, and the worst defense in the NFL had 6 sacks, including 2 from Cam Sample, in which he forced a fumble, which was recovered by, if you go down here, Howard Cross. I think most of the backups were in there. And oh my gosh, Evan McPherson, you were 0-2 on extra points. And the Bengals lost by 2. Is it time to cut Evan McPherson? As a result of this game, the Browns did fire Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time Coach of the Year, and the Bengals decide to keep Zach Taylor? Mike Brown is fucking confident in Zach Taylor. I mean, are you kidding me? This guy should have been fired a long time ago. And yes, we end the season on a 4-game win streak with a win over the Aints, 19-17. Great news, Falcons fans. Morris is gone. And unfortunately, so too is Fontenot. But hey, man, Saints gave us a good show, especially Tyler Shuck. 23 of 35 for 259 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Also ran for a score. That 1 touchdown pass came in the 4th quarter in what was an insane catch by Ronnie Bell. But how about Jawan Johnson? He fumbled earlier in the game, but then he went up and had a 28-yard reception once he made a ridiculous catch. Guy redeemed himself on that. And yeah, she led receiving, and we just could not stop Dante Pettis for some stupid reason. 4 sacks for this defense. Chase Young, 1.5 sacks, and Carl Granderson also had 1.5 sacks, and also picked off Kirk Cousins, in which he threw it right to him. Oh, Charlie Smythe, you missed the field goal that would have won you all the game. Kirk Cousins, he was okay. 18 of 32 for 108 yards, a touchdown, the interception. Bijan, or the run game in general, did not do anything. It was a good thing Drake London stepped up. And Kyle Pitts. But for unit of the game, it has to go defense. Interception by D. Alford. AJ Terrell forced a fumble, which recovered by Xavier Watt, the X Factor. 4 sacks, including 2 from James Pierce. Guy is a DROI conversations that ain't even close. Fortunately, I still do have Schlesinger winning that award. How about Zane Gonzalez, 4 for 4 for field goals at 13 points? We should have signed this guy week 1. That way we would have made the freaking playoffs. Well, I guess 8 and 9 is kind of a step in the right direction. Oh wait, we finished that record last year! Why the hell do we have to be cursed? Next up, Vikings go to 9 and 8 on the year after almost shutting out the Packers 16-3 if it wasn't for a last-second field goal by McManus at the end of the game. LaFleur, you stubborn son of a bitch. Malik Willis was injured, so in came Clayton Tune, and he sucked. Rushing game wasn't too bad, but yeah, Clayton Tune was the biggest liability on that field. 2 sacks by the defense, only turnover was a recovery by Baron Sorrell from a Brenton Cox forced fumble. J.J. McCarthy did get injured in the game, but he did have 14-22 for 182. Max Bros were 7 of 8 for 57. Could we have a quarterback controversy here? Jordan Mason did end up having 94 rushing yards, but it was C.J. Ham, the fullback, who scored a touchdown. Also, out of nowhere, Justin Jefferson puts up 101 yards. Where has this been all season, Justin? And as always, Brian Flores' defense continues to amaze me. 4 sacks, including 2 for Dallas Turner, and he did have a forced fumble as well. Gosh, if we didn't have Penix, we would have taken this guy. Oh yeah, Will Riker, I saw that if it was for Cameron Wire, this guy would be perfect right now through his entire career. Damn you, Cameron Wires. But what a good ending for Minnesota, especially with having a winning record. I mean, Kevin O'Connell's starting to really be a good coach, but fans are kicking themselves because they let go of Sam Darnold, who is now on the #1 seed in the NFC. Next up, Jags dominated the Titans 41-7. Didn't see that coming. Cam Ward left the game early. He was 3 of 3 for 52 yards, also ran for a touchdown. So Brandon Allen came in, and yeah, it went about as bad as you would have expected. Not going to talk about their defense because they couldn't stop Trevor Lawrence all game long. 22 of 30, 255, 3 touchdowns. Bashal Tootin had the only rushing touchdown in the game, and the rushing offense was pretty lackluster. Touchdown passes went to Parker Washington, Brenton Strange, and Quentin Morris. The Bowling Green tight end before Fannin? Single sack and a single interception in which Antonio Johnson returned for a touchdown. Don't be fooled by the stat line. Jacksonville's defense was absolutely incredible. With this win, Jacksonville does clinch the AFC South and will be the 3 seed in the playoffs. Good luck against Buffalo. You're going to need it again. Oh, New York, how in the world do you fuck this up? New York Giants, in a matter of 2 weeks, went from picking 1st overall in the NFL draft to winning 2 in a row and now picking 5th overall after demolishing Dallas 34-17. I should have rolled with momentum with the Giants. Dak came out of the game because Jerry Jones realized that they weren't doing anything. I mean, nothing was changing, no matter if they won or lose. So he decided to put Joe Milton in there, and yeah, it was not good. Unlikely faces scored rushing touchdowns: Jaden Blue, the rookie, and Phil Maffa. 4 sacks for this defense, including 3 from Jadeveon Clowney, in which he had a forced fumble and recovery. Oh yeah, and Logan Wilson also forced a fumble. Okay, so this ain't looking too bad. Defense is starting to grow a little bit, but Jadeveon Clowney is getting older. It was all business for the Giants. Jackson Dart was 22 of 32 with 230 for 2 touchdowns. 100 yards rushing for Tyron Tracy, 160 all-purpose yards with a receiving touchdown. Singletary also had a rushing touchdown and receiving touchdown for Daniel Bellinger. And Gunnar Olszewski had 8 catches for 102 yards. What planet are we living in? Great game for Bobby Okereke, when she had an interception and a fumble recovery. The fact that the Giants' passing attack was better than Dallas's told you all you needed to know about this game. And the offense in general. Dallas just did not care. Next up, Rams finish off the Cardinals after a pretty sluggish first 3 quarters, in which they won the fourth quarter 14-0. Final score was 37-20 Rams. People need to put some respect on Jacoby Brissett's name. This guy is miles better than Kyler Murray. And unfortunately, this loss got Jonathan Gannon fired. Kyler Murray, you done did it again. You got another coach fired. 22 of 31 for 243, 2 touchdowns and a pick for Brissett. Rushing game sucked as always. Michael Wilson, 5 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown. The other touchdown actually went to Josiah DeGara. But it just did not matter because Matthew Stafford, a.k.a. the MVP for this season, I mean, it better be. 25 of 40, 259 yards and 4 touchdowns for him. Yeah, rushing him was better than Arizona's, I'll tell you that. Colby Parkinson scored twice, Puka Nacua had a touchdown and Loma 10 catches, and Tyler Higbee also had a receiving touchdown. I almost forgot to tell you, the Rams defense completely wreaked havoc with 6 total sacks. Desjuan Johnson had 2 of them. Forced fumble by Josiah Stewart, recovery by Colby Turner, and also an interception by Ahkello Witherspoon. 2 turnovers forced in this game. Rams are looking like a scary team. I mean, they're playing a team that they just lost to, so you know they got murder on their mind against Carolina. Brace yourself, Panthers, because it's going to be a bloodbath. I think I speak for a bunch of people that people just did not give one shit about this game. Raiders beat the Chiefs on a last-second 60-yard field goal by Daniel Carlson, 14-12. How the fuck did I get this one right? I'll tell you why. Kansas City played their 3rd and 4th string quarterbacks in this game because their top 2 quarterbacks all had ACL tears. And they proved why they were 3rd and 4th string QBs. Offense just looked lost all game long. Defense had a couple of highlights, including 2 sacks for Chris Jones, interception by Jamari Connor. Bucker was actually 4 of 4 in this game, but it just didn't matter because the Raiders' defense was actually better. I mean, actually, Gentry popped off for 87 rushing yards. When I said Raiders' defense was better, I meant that. Because holy fuck, 8 sacks? 2 from Wilson, 2 from Snowden, 2 from Hemingway, 1.5 from Devin White, and yeah, there were 3 forced fumbles. Recoveries were by Darian Porter and J.J. Pegues. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, Tyree Wilson might be one of the next young superstars on the defensive side of the ball. This guy managed to get 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a safety. Guy balled out in the last game of the season. He might get himself an extension. Clutch as it could be, Daniel Carlson nailing a 60-yarder to win the game. I was crazy enough to pick the Raiders to win this one, and man, if it wasn't for that one game last night, I think I would have been so happy. Next up, Washington beat Philadelphia's backups 24-17. Philadelphia lost to Josh Johnson with your backups? It don't matter what backup you had. That was a 3rd string quarterback. He actually balled out though. 14-22 for 131, a touchdown and a pick on the passing game. Also ran for the game-winning score. Rodriguez had a rushing touchdown also. And that touchdown pass with the Sean Bates. Jeremy Reeves actually balled out in this one, had 6 total tackles, but he also had an interception. The defense as a whole had 3 sacks, including one from Von Miller and one from Deron Payne. I think everyone and their mother knew that Philadelphia was playing most of their backups in this game. Tanner McKee was okay. 21 of 40 for 241, a touchdown and a pick. Tank Bixby also ran for a score. That touchdown pass went to Grant Calcaterra. Sadly for Philly's defense, they had no sacks. J.S. Hunt had an interception and fumble recovery courtesy of Caleb Ringo, even though Caleb Ringo was kind of burnt toast in this game. This game really didn't mean one bit for Philadelphia. I mean, if they would have taken it more seriously, they would have actually got the 2 seed because the Bears lost. New England took care of business against Miami, 38-10. I mean, come on. You should have been expecting this by now. Chad Powers, Quinn Ewers had 16 and 23 for 137, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Pretty average. And we got some Zach Wilson action, and he threw 2 incompletions. I hope one team gives him a chance because I think he's got a lot of potential to really get into if some of these coaches would actually give a chance to him. Rushing game sucked, and the receiving touchdown went to Malik Washington. Come on. That touchdown was really just given to him because nobody covered Malik Washington. Ooh, Drake May should be MVP. Yeah, he was 14-18 for under 200 yards and threw a touchdown against the Dolphins. I know they didn't give a shit about this game because they were trying to go for the 2 seed and they were just a powerhouse. Come on. Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson combined for 180 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow. And add a receiving touchdown for Ramondre Stevenson because why not? 4 sacks for defense, 2 forced fumbles by Jack Gibbons and Jelani Tavai, and a fumble recovery by Elijah Ponder. Defense actually stepped up a big time. With that, New England will face the Chargers in the wild card round. Dear God, Chargers, please end this. When I said the Bears lost, yeah, the final score speaks for itself. Detroit beat Chicago on the last-second field goal by Jack Bates, 19-16. Detroit was up 16-0, and then the Bears scored their only points in the 4th quarter. We see too much of that nowadays. But it wasn't enough as Detroit was able to get the win off a field goal. Cherikov was okay, but he did struggle at times. 27 of 42, 331, touchdown and interception. Rushing game got the ball moving. And Amon St. Brown, where's this been? 11 catches for 139, and that touchdown pass went to Jahmyr Gibbs. I know it was just a single set by Aiden Hutchinson, interception by Avonte Maddox, but defense did good for 3 quarters, and then, of course, the 4th quarter came around. They had to make it so dramatic. Thankfully, Jake Bates came in clutch. 4-5, able to nail the game winner to win over Chicago. Pretty good day for him. For the Bears, Caleb Williams in the 4th quarter, 20-33, 212, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Rushing game was decent. Colston Loveland had one of the touchdowns, and so did Jade Walker. What? What the world? Still no Romadunze and DJ Moore on 3 targets, 1 catch for 11. Defense was solid. In that second half, 3 sacks and also an interception by Kevin Byard. They gave themselves a chance to win. It was just the defense just cracked in under pressure, and Jake Bates ended their misery. Heck of a win, Detroit, and Dan Campbell, you better fix some stuff, especially since you're missing Ben Johnson right now. We also got the Denver Broncos beating the Chargers 19-3 to clinch the 1 seed. And the Chargers will be down to the 7 seed because of it. Good way to get your first round bye, Broncos, but you seriously need to fix your offense. The Chargers didn't give one shit about this game. 20-44 for 136 and interception for Trey Lance. Rushing game was pretty decent, but not really enough to score any points. Defense was actually pretty good for the Chargers. 2 sacks for Eboigbe. 4 sacks total, and they were able to hold Denver's defense to, only 1 touchdown? And that was on defense. Your lucky day the kicker got you your only points of the game. Rushing game was pretty decent, but other than that, this offense sucked ass. It's a good thing the Denver defense showed up, especially with 4 sacks, interception return for a touchdown by Jaquan McMillan, forced fumble by Benito, and recovery by Savion Jones as well. Defense does like it's always been. Don't tell me this is going to be 2015 all over again. Offense sucking ass and then the defense being best in the NFL and ended up winning the Super Bowl. How about Will Lutz's game though? 4 field goals in this one, 41 yards total and 13 points. Guy balled out, man. Denver, you better be fixing your offense during the bye week because if not, some of these teams from the wild card are going to eat you up. They're not going to do so on defense, but you better be doing something on offense, otherwise it's going to be a close game. Finally, for the 4 o'clock slate, Buffalo beat a powerhouse in the New York Jets 35-8. It was like a classic, uniform battle between the Bills wearing their Super Bowl uniforms, when they went to 4 straight bowls, and the New York Jets, I think, wearing their jerseys that they went to 1968 Super Bowl or somewhere around that line. And yeah, the Jets, they didn't give one shit about this game. I mean, Brady Cook did throw a touchdown to Andrew Beck, but that was literally the only highlight of this game. People are going to look at Mitchell Trubisky's stat line, 22-29 for 259 yards and 4 touchdowns, and just say, wow, this guy's actually better than Josh Allen. Hold your high sources there. That was the Jets defense. They suck ass. They haven't had a single interception all season. The real MVP of this season? Every quarterback that went up against the Jets, because they all combined to throw no interceptions. Anyways, rushing game was dominant. Under 50 yards for Ray Davis, rushing touchdown for Ty Johnson. Dog, Jets defense, this was pathetic. 4 different players had touchdowns, including Ty Johnson and Ray Davis. Dawson Knox and Gabe Davis, he's also had a touchdown. Gabe Davis getting a touchdown in 2025? No, 2026. Josh Allen, you know what to do against Jacksonville. There's no excuses. If you don't win the Super Bowl, you probably never will in your entire career. What a bang to end the season with the AFC North title in the balance. 26-24, Steelers hang on because of a missed field goal. About daggum time, Lamar Jackson started to ball out, 11 of 18 for 238, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Derrick Henry also moved the ball with absolute force, 20 carries for 126 yards. Touchdowns, Zay Flowers had an absolute career game this season, 4 catches, 138, 2 touchdowns, and Devontae Walker, 2 catches, 46, and a score. Tell you, you can make a 40-yarder, but you couldn't kick a 44-yarder straight down the middle. I tell you, man, Ravens fans are going to be real pissed, and I wouldn't blame them one bit. Steelers offense, they were moving the ball, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers, 300 yards, 31-47, and a touchdown to Calvin Austin. Rushing touchdowns by Gainwell and Hayward. Yeah, it just didn't look right. Only turnover of the game was really a TJ Watt interception, and even then, Pittsburgh was very close to losing that game. Because Chris Boswell actually missed an extra point, which would have, put it at 3 points as the lead, and Baltimore would have had to play for the tie. I hope you're counting your days, Boswell, because, man, you almost blew it for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now, Pittsburgh's 10-7. What happened to the 9-8 curse, man? At least, Houston Texans will end their misery. I hope. That's going to do it for the actions, and that'll do it for this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you get this up, hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Grizz signing off for now, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Grizzly vibes with you at all times. Take care. And welcome to the playoffs.